Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-1, winning ugly, starting to get a little bit prettier with the wins, but they're not Baltimore. Baltimore's what, 1-3 now? Losing pretty every week. So, sucks to be a Ravens fan.
It does suck to be a Raven fan at all times. At all times.
Yeah, that's right.
Either they don't win the Super Bowl or they're just good enough to lose an AFC championship. I mean,
Yeah.
failing from success, I believe that is also the Steelers story of the 21st century. Suffering from success. So no, I feel for them. Tough week for the AFC North as a whole, except for us. Everyone lost,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. We love that.
Hmm.
Lamar's going to be out for a couple of weeks too. Justin Madubuike, their defensive tackle, is out for the year.
Oh, I heard that
Uh,
they had some injuries, but I haven't
yeah,
seen any
they got banged up,
details.
and obviously, Burrow's done for the year, pretty much.
Yeah.
You got the Browns, who are just being the Browns, and they're not good. Miles Garrett's fantastic, I will say that. This guy is
Yeah.
better. 90, we'll throw that up. But yeah,
His
Greg,
block numbers too.
yeah, that's these need to be the primaries. Like I
Yeah.
just everyone wants it.
They
The
look
the
so much more aggressive and they're just
yes,
very Steeler-like.
the italics are great for the 2000s era, but we are 2020s now. This is Aaron Rodgers' team.
Oh, wow. Can you believe we're saying that?
Yeah, yeah. I I think a lot of us who didn't want him, I did not
Yeah.
want him.
Man, I went on rant after rant after rant. No, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Just let's bring somebody, Mason somebody, and ride with them and see how if we end up with a losing record and we got a high draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. We could still finish 8-1 and have this 18th overall pick, but this is why you can't put all your eggs in one basket. And we're looking way ahead of the draft here. They were coming into this year for college football saying, "Oh, this is going to be like the 2024 draft when you had five quarterbacks taken in the first 10 picks." Well, all those guys have in college have kind of fallen off.
Yeah,
So
I heard the
you kind
Manning
of
kid's
wondering
not doing very well.
he's not doing well. He's probably not coming out anyways. It was
Okay.
rumored that he wants to get his college degree type thing. But you got, Lenore Sellers out of South Carolina, Cade Klubnik out of Clemson, Garrett Nussmeier out of LSU, Fernando Mendoza is from Indiana. He's playing real well. And then John Mateer, I might be getting that wrong, from Oklahoma. And there's a handful of others, but they're all struggling. So we're with Rodgers this year. We're on top of the North. We're one quarter of the way into the season. We're coming out of September, like you called.
Hmm.
We're three and
Two and
one.
two or better, and we're 3-1. So yeah,
Yep.
we got a bye week. We got Cleveland coming up, and their defensive line, they're really good. So we're again going to find out how that O line's grown, and are they going to keep? They got a little bit better against Minnesota. It didn't look like it was going to based off that first snap, but
Oh my gosh, yeah, the three and out. I was like, oh great, this is fantastic. I don't want to overlook that Minnesota's really banged up. I mean, everyone is, right? And that's, it's important to remember that everyone, we're banged up in the defensive backfield, right? So
oh yeah,
everyone's got an excuse, but you have to win these games, and we won.
yeah.
And I jinked myself because I text Sarah, and I think I may have texted you, and I was just like, we're watching a Steelers game. It's the fourth quarter. We have a three possession lead and the ball. Like I'm not even stressed. And then of course we make it a stress filled end of your Sunday morning. It's okay. I had the Guinness in hand, so it worked out.
There you go. Oh, wow. So 4th and 1, the end of the game. We got that far to go. What are you calling?
Go for it. It's hard to make. It's hard to talk about it in retrospect because obviously we won the game, right? So Tomlin made the right call, I guess. They did a tush push with Darnell Washington early in the game. Why just run that?
I missed that.
Yeah, it was when it's the when Rodgers is just sitting there and he's signaling the first down. He's like standing back with his hands on his hips.
Uh-huh.
They needed like half a yard. It wasn't a whole lot.
Oh,
But
wow.
you got to go for it, and you got to trust your defense. Like
Yeah.
they're making big plays after big plays, and you got to trust your defense there. I understand, the other side of it is it's almost accepted that a field goal a kicker will hit a 54, 55-yard field goal with ease.
Hmm.
So you flip the ball there immediately in field goal position. It worked out, but I don't like it. Tomlin, it's all about we don't live in our fears. Just
But he
whatever.
did.
Well, yeah, whatever Tomlinism you want to pull. And I was like, oh, we're living in our fears right now. We're not. We need to attack. The run game is working. DK is clearly using his size to do what he wants. Darnell's emerging, in my opinion, as almost a tight end one on this roster.
Hmm.
I don't know why you wouldn't have gone for it, but it worked out. What did you think?
Well, I was fine with him going for it, but I think what Tomlin was thinking was he doesn't trust that O line yet, and he feels like okay, they're getting a little bit better each week since the Pats game. They're improving, but that's such a huge play right there. If they didn't get that push to get that far, what's it going to do to them psychologically?
Right. Yeah, because I mean, we gave up again 3 possession lead. I
Mm-hmm.
guess 2 possession lead at that point. So yeah, that would have been a massive momentum flipper. Corliss Waitman's punt was not great.
That blew my mind because I was like, okay, they're going to punt it and they're going to try to pin him because this guy,
Right.
I mean, against the Pats, what, three inside the 20?
Yeah, I mean he's been really really good this year.
And he
And
kicked the ball clear out of the end zone.
well, I thought I was trying to find the quote. Someone asked Danny Smith, the Steelers special teams coordinator, about it, and I think and I might be misremembering it. I think he said they did that on purpose because they wanted to ensure that there's no return. I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I read it, I was like, that doesn't make sense. And by the time I went back to it, it was gone. It was lost in the Twitter sphere and
Yeah, I think
never to be seen again. But I that whole sequence I didn't like. That whole fourth quarter I didn't like.
yeah,
But
I think some of that dip Danny's got in his mouth was going to his brain. I mean,
as bubble gum, as
it's
bubble
called
gum.
coffin corner. I mean, he did
Yeah,
that textbook against the Pats and
yeah,
knocked it out at the 8 or 9 yard line one time. I mean, the ball hit and it bounced straight out of bounds.
yeah. And you're forcing Carson Wentz to go the distance.
Yeah.
But again, it worked out. So I think it's so easy to look back and say, oh, what are the moments in this game that flipped this game on its head, right?
Hmm.
And I think the big one that I want to talk about is Peyton Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Peyton Wilson won us the football game.
Hmm.
He all these guys hurt us last week. Keanu Benton, right? Peyton Wilson. They Broderick played well. All they hurt us and they said, okay, we got you, we got you, we got you. I pulled up the stats and I got to find it here. He ran 22.48 miles per hour.
That's what I was going to say. He was
That is
scrambling,
insane.
man.
He for a linebacker,
He's probably what 6'4",
he's
240,
six
something like
six
that.
four, 240. Yeah, that is incredible. They
Hmm.
lost 68 seconds of clock because of that.
Yeah.
So you think about had they just scored and then they get whatever, like they probably win obviously it's so hard, but they win the game.
Yeah.
So Peyton Wilson won us that game, and I'm so pleased with that. He had a great bounce back game. Um, I think everyone played real well. I was enamored with Patrick Queen's play.
Yeah. That's what I was
Gosh,
getting ready to say was he did a great job.
Sarah just ordered his jersey. I'm not even
Oh,
joking.
really?
No, she
Wow.
just bought his jersey because we're going up to a game, and she had a Najee jersey, so she's like, I got to get another one. And she's like, what do you think about a Patrick Queen? I said, hey, look, if that's what you want to do, that's fine.
Yeah, you get Steelers jersey, you need to go defense.
Yeah, and just
I do have some offensive jerseys, but
I don't think I have anyone current offense right now. I don't think so. But yeah, I thought he played fantastic. TJ showed up, just got off to a slow start for the year, but he's right back in the midst of best player in the defense in best defensive player of the league, in my opinion.
that reminds me, James Harrison and Joe Hayden have a show on YouTube, and there was one that I watched last week where Ben had called out the Steelers defense for being vanilla. And that's what he and Joe were on there talking about. And Harrison went back to his time, and LeBeau retired in 12, I think it was. And Harrison, I think, went to Cincinnati in 13 and then came back to Pittsburgh in 14. And by the time he had gotten back, they had gotten rid of all the complexities of LeBeau's defense because they
Hmm.
wanted players to get on the field quicker. And he's like, yes, it's a very vanilla defense now. Because before it was taking guys a year
Right.
get it together before they could get out on the field and put any substantial playing time in. And I
Yeah.
witnessed that watching like Troy his rookie season.
Yeah.
No, he couldn't get it. The one time he got on the field, they were playing Buffalo. I can't remember who the Buffalo's quarterback was. Troy broke on the ball and the ball went right through his hands. I mean, like whizzed by. He had an interception, but that was his rookie year. He had his hair tucked up in his helmet. He still didn't know the defense, but he was out on the
Yeah.
field a little bit. But I remember a lot of guys not getting out on the field enough.
Yeah.
You always wonder, all these other teams put their rookies out there, but we're not. But James won't explain it's the complexities of that defense, and it takes a year to digest that scheme, especially as a rookie.
Yeah. I think that's, it was very common for much of the 2010s or 2000s, I guess, for rookies, offense or defense, to not see the field
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh.
even in Cowher's years, it was
I
like
mean,
that.
yeah, like it wasn't the thing. And like I remember, we talk about Cam Hayward. Cam was virtually invisible the first 3 or 4 years of his career. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He was a rotational guy. He didn't do anything. So it took them a while, but I think the philosophy has changed with that because up until 2010, I think I'm right there. Cam Newton's draft. Um, Remember there was no for the draft, players could sign whatever contract they wanted.
Oh,
Right. So quarterbacks were coming in who had never played college ball, Jamarcus Russell, Sam Bradford, these guys who had never played college ball, and they're saying, I want $120 million.
saw it many times.
Yeah, so I think that the idea of, hey, we're gonna sit you for a year, I think that's more beneficial a lot of times. But if you can get a guy on the field and he contributes and he's on a cheap rookie deal,
Oh yeah.
that's why I think we're seeing the rush of these guys. And yeah, the defense has been pretty vanilla. It feels like we've been doing the same thing under three different coordinators now because you can argue that we had Dick LeBeau. Obviously, he was fantastic. It got a little stale. Dick retired. Keith Butler stepped right in. Keith Butler was his linebackers coach, so he was at the same. It was should have been the same
I think
scheme.
that's when they made the scheme vanilla and took out all
Yeah,
the
and then
costs.
I don't know, fire whatever, and then we bring in Terrell Austin. Terrell Austin was an outside hire. He came in and was in the building for a year, so it's just interesting that the scheme has gotten so vanilla. But I do want to give Terrell Austin credit and Arthur Smith. They out schemed the Vikings.
Well, they're bringing some of the LeBeau stuff back. You can see it over the last couple of weeks now that they're getting in obvious pass rush
Yeah.
situations. You see them crossing and looping, and they're starting to go to the chalkboard and draw some things up again.
You have to. I think Steelers are second in the NFL in blitz rate, which is crazy because we haven't done that in like 5 years. We've just been expecting the talent to make it happen. And instead, we're saying, okay, let's scheme it. Let's scheme it open. And that's why you're seeing TJ move. I love the rotation at Mike linebacker with Patrick Queen, Cole Holcomb, Peyton Wilson, like
Yeah.
swapping out Peyton Wilson and Cole Holcomb on passing and running downs. I think is fantastic. Nick Herbig continues to take step after step after step. We're gonna have to pay him, and that's a wonderful problem to have. But I want to get your thoughts
Here's
on what we need to do
oh,
with our. I would say we have two guys who are Pro Bowl caliber and are very highly paid, but they're not impacting the field right now, and that's for different reasons. And that's A, Alex Highsmith, and B, Pat Fryermuth.
yeah.
What do you think about those two?
Well, I mean, I was reading about there's rumors already swirling about Highsmith may get traded. And I mean, they broke it down. He's been hurt quite a bit over the past couple of seasons, and he's got this big contract. And they've got Herbig, who just keeps getting better and better. And I think he had one injury situation where he missed a few games, but he hasn't
Yeah,
nothing major, and it's not consistent. But he is a backup, so you don't really know until they're on the field full time. I mean, Herbig seems to be a little bit more impactful than Highsmith. Highsmith seems to be, I guess, more of the run stopper type. I mean, he can get after the quarterback, but Herbig is going after the quarterback and he's going to stop the run on his way to the quarterback. He's that type.
yeah.
That's what I'm seeing there. Fryermuth, I don't know what's going on there. I hope you got your finger on the pulse on it a little more than I do because I mean, just he's invisible.
Yeah, yeah. I think I want to touch on Highsmith first. I think, the downside about the NFL season being as long as it is you have so much time to prepare. It's really hard to make impactful trades during the year
Oh yeah.
because, you know, okay, so if the Steelers trade Alex Highsmith, well, then in theory, he's going to need to go to a high performing team that has a hole at edge rusher. Okay,
Mhm.
well, most high performing teams don't have a hole at edge rusher. Well, if they do, most high performing teams don't have the salary cap to make it happen. I think the Packers would be an interesting possibility because Rashawn Gary just went down. So if they're looking to compete, obviously they added Micah Parsons over the summer.
Yeah.
So I think that is an interesting, and they're not in the conference,
Yeah.
but it won't happen. We got Green Bay on October 26th. That is the week before the trade deadline. So I don't imagine we would make any move before we have to, just in case of injury.
I don't think they would do it during season right now.
I don't think so, but also, man, if Calvin Austin's going to be out, we still need a wide receiver too. And that brings me to Freiermuth because I think so much of what we heard over the summer was DK's number one. We got that. We kind of got a couple wide receiver threes,
Mhm.
but we're going to use our tight ends like wide receiver too. So it's like, okay, cool. That the logic checks out. Pat is essentially a different version of a Mike Gesicki, where he's kind of just like a slot receiver. Pat's a little bit slower, but his snap count is just it's falling. Again, I think he played like 17 snaps on Sunday. He had nothing notable. I think he's in Rodgers' doghouse. And I think Mike Tomlin is letting his quarterback be the Hall of Fame quarterback he is. I think about the times that Rodgers has tried to get Pat involved, and Pat has messed up in every single game,
Yeah.
except for
Yeah.
this one, because he wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
And, we talk so much about these Hall of Fame players and how talented they are. And when they do something, it's like, oh, you can't. It's like, no, he can do that. Aaron Rodgers can do whatever he wants because he's proven that it works. So if he's saying this guy's not worth a damn in my offense, I don't want him out there, then
Yeah.
you got to listen. So I think, and I
Uh,
think if you're looking at Pat, and I like Pat, I think he's a great locker room guy. He's so good for social media for the fans. Like it, we all love doing this
uh,
generation of the move,
yeah.
whatever. But Johnny Smith is a better receiver, and Darnell Washington's a better blocker.
Mhm.
So if you're running two tight end sets, what are you going to put Pat out there for? Because if you put him out there with Jonnu, they know it's not a run. Like they know 100% it's not a run, and you're not going to put him out there on a run because he can't block. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't imagine they'll trade him. He's the eighth highest paid tight end in the league right now, and he's not performing like it. We're not at a position where we need money. I mean, we all need money. I'll take some money. The Roonies can pay me, but
Yeah.
we're not at a position where we're dying for salary cap because we have Rodgers, right? So we don't have a quarterback that we're paying $56 million a year. So we're not constrained by the cap. But he is an interesting one. I think that we might look to trade because we have the depth in the building already.
Yeah.
The only issue is the number one guy I want is on a team that has two tight ends, and that's the Las Vegas Raiders.
Uh,
One Jacoby Myers, I think he'd slot right in as wide receiver too. He need a new contract, but he is signed, sealed, delivered your wide receiver too. So I don't know. It's frustrating to pay these guys and they're not on the field or they're not producing.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he just got his new deal before what last season started.
I think it was last season. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's just. I mean, he needs to be watching film,
Yeah.
breaking things down, talking to his quarterback during the week. What can I do? What do you want to see here? And I mean, that's another thing about Rogers' leadership about the 4th and 1 deal after the
Hmm.
game. He's like, we need to be able to ice that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
some folks took it as like him, throwing a little bit back at Tomlin. I don't see it like that. I see it more as he knows that offense has the potential, that offensive line does,
Yeah.
to ice the game. And that's him sending a message to them is we need to get the job done. You guys need to get the job done and open those holes so that we're not in this position again.
Yeah. And I
In a
think,
nice way, more or less.
yeah, obviously. And I think that, again, Rodgers' leadership, it's just showing. But I've noticed, and Rodgers has always done this. He's always had his guys, right? Whether the Packers, he brought them half of them to the Jets, whatever. He's always had his guys that he just loves to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to go back and remember who he has name dropped on the Steelers. He's name dropped Brad. He's name dropped Brad Broad. He has not name dropped you. Sorry. He's name dropped Broad. He's name dropped Troy Fatanu. He's name dropped Jonnu Smith, Darnell Washington, Calvin Austin. Like he is all these guys that you're seeing kind of an emergence from
Uh,
has made it a point to speak on their behalf to say, oh, he's a great talent. Oh, he's this, he's this, he's this. I haven't, it's Zach Frazier, same thing, Mason McCormick. Like he say, have not heard that about Pat. And
yeah.
I could be wrong. I didn't go back through every piece of audio, but I think you're starting to see that reflect. I think Broderick and Rodgers have a really interesting relationship because even when Broderick's not playing well, Rodgers is hyping him up. And I understand, you want that guy to protect you,
Mm-hmm.
but he knows Broderick's so young. I mean, still,
Yeah.
he's still so young.
Mm-hmm.
And if Broderick can get better, then, that's awesome. I don't know if you saw this. So before Rodgers threw the 80-yard pass to DK or the 77-yard, whatever it was, they're in the huddle and Broderick hands a pack of smelling salts, which are banned in the NFL now, to Rodgers, and Rodgers takes it and just does one of those and then rips an 80-yard touchdown. It was just really cool. It was like it's
No, I didn't
a
catch
drug
that.
dealer. He's,
Wow.
but it was just like that relationship you're starting to see, and I'm just not seeing that out of Pat. So I just I wonder what we're gonna do there because we're sitting here 3-1 with a bye week. It's time to correct our mistakes and gear up for division games. But division games are never easy.
No, no, especially with a defense like Cleveland's. I mean, they're allowing like 222 yards a game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's stingy, very
Jim
stingy.
Jim Schwartz is a really good defensive coordinator. He's
Yeah,
not a good
he is.
coach, but he's a really good defensive coordinator. And at a certain point, it's my opinion that you stop arguing over who's better and just accept greatness. And that's where I am with Myles Garrett and TJ Watt.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're both so phenomenal and they do it so differently. Myles Garrett
Mhm.
is literally, he was created in a lab
Yeah.
and what he's able to do is incredible. And I will watch a Browns game just to watch what he's doing
I saw
because
some
it's
footage
just,
of him earlier today. He beat a double team. I mean,
yeah,
just
yeah.
sacked the quarterback.
He's, it's it's the scene in Captain America, the first Avenger, when Steve Rogers comes out of the tank and he just got the serum in him,
Uh-huh.
and suddenly he's like this massive buff dude, and I'm like, that's what Myles Garrett is his every single day of his life. He's just this superhuman. So, but their offense is really bad. The Browns' offense is terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Are we winning the next two, and then we go into Sunday Night Football versus Green Bay at 5-1?
Do we have Cleveland at home?
We have Cleveland at home, and then we're at Cincy.
Okay. Well, I mean, their offense being so bad and the defense, they're going to have to play the field possession game and just be
Yeah,
careful with the football. And if they do that, yeah, they can beat them.
yeah,
Even with that stingy defense, I believe they can get enough done to
yep.
put a few more points on the board than Cleveland.
Yeah, and the benefit of us having a good defense is Rodgers is now used to playing and practicing against, an attacking defense. So he knows he's got to get that ball out and he's got a really quick release time and it's working as long as the right guys are open. Obviously with Calvin Austin being out for a while or for a little bit, I don't think it'll be for a while, but we don't have a timeline yet. I just, we just need the guys to step up because sure, DK's numbers looked good, and I'm not gonna dismiss the great play he had because he played well. But if you take away the 80-yard catch, he only had, right?
Yeah.
I still want to see more out of our offense, and I want to see guys just start making plays because it
Mhm.
does kind of feel like even though it's working, we're still stuck in the mud.
I'd like to see him with one of those seven and nine catch games with
Yeah,
125, 150 yards and a score or two, and just
yeah,
get that consistency out there and make sure they're building that rapport between
yeah.
each other.
Because I saw a stat, it's like DK is on pace for the lowest catches of his career, but the most touchdowns of his career.
Yeah, he's scored in every game, hasn't he?
I think all except for the first one.
It's
But
okay. Yeah, I said that, and I thought I don't think he got in there with the Jets.
yeah, but again, just utilize the size. So
Yeah.
we're sitting pretty at 3-1. It could be a lot worse. I'm looking at the schedule over here. Green Bay, I think, is just going to be a tough game. And we're playing the Cincinnati backup. Who knows? Maybe they have Kirk Cousins by that point. Maybe Jamar Chase is threatening to walk out. Uh, I'm I'm never glad when a player gets injured. Talking about Tyreek Hill here. I'm never
Uh,
glad when they get injured, but I'm glad that that means we will not trade for him.
I knew you were getting ready to say that because
Yeah, like
no
that's
danger of him coming to Pittsburgh now.
nope, nope, nope.
I saw
And
some pictures of him today sitting in his hospital bed, I guess after the surgery, all
yeah,
smiles, and it said, this guy just blew his knee out and shredded all kinds of ligaments, and it looks like he just won the lottery.
if I guess if he wanted out that badly.
Yeah, I guess that is probably the drugs they had him on after the
Well,
surgery.
but did you
Still
see when he was
were.
getting carted? He was getting carted off the field. He's like cracking. He's looking around. He's laughing. I think he wanted out of there that bad. His career is probably over. He's a Hall of Fame talent, but so much of it is built on speed and quickness, not just
Uh-huh.
line speed. But it was slowing down already, and then you kind of add this. It might be it for him, which is you never want a player to go out that way. You feel
Yeah.
like okay, but obviously he's got some questionable off the field concerns.
Oh yeah.
But he's not going to be a Steeler, and for that we are grateful. I'm excited for this bye week. We're banged up. I don't like early season bye weeks, but let's get right and get healthy.
Yeah, we needed it. And
We're
we
going
had
to be out. No Jalen Ramsey for a couple of weeks, but
mm,
Joey Porter will come back.
and I,
Sean Elliott's back.
hopefully Corey Trice can get on the field some. That guy's got a lot of potential. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, but at some point that potential is just not worth it.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like he can have all the potential in the world, but if that man can't stay on the field.
Hmm.
So I saw
When you
the
get on the field, he's done some good things. So hopefully he can
yeah
get over this injury bug. And because I want to see that, because there was so much talk about him. They grabbed him in the seventh round. He
yep
was, a steal, and corners with size and range like that,
yeah
like Porter, he's 6'2", 200, 205, and then Trice is like 6'3" and 210 or something. Big players like that are great on this too on defense.
yeah, and they had when they came out they had a nickname and I forget what it was, but it was a cool nickname.
Okay.
They can't stay on the field, but no. So we got a bye week, and again, don't like it this early in the year because you kind of feel like you need it later on. But let's look at ourselves in the mirror and figure out what we need to do better. I'm pleased at 3-1. We are arguably one bad rookie mistake from being 4-0.
Yeah. And he had a few carries.
He did. I was
Yeah.
so excited for him.
Yeah, I mean, he got on the field. He didn't do anything great. He didn't do anything bad at the same time. So hey, just keep snowballing that a little bit each week,
Yeah.
and maybe by mid-season we'll have a guy that's a threat back there in addition to Warren.
In addition to Gainwell,
Oh yeah, and him
like
too.
we didn't even talk. He had almost 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and
I
forgot
don't know
about
if I don't know if the line was playing so well or they just weren't anticipating us sticking to the run game like that
Yeah, I don't know.
because he was
I
just
haven't watched the game
junk.
again to see how they were lining up against us.
Yeah, I watched the all 22 here later. Yeah, I was incredibly pleased with him.
Mhm.
Dad was too because he started him in his fantasy football league.
The smooth move right there.
Yeah. I texted him. I was like, "Oh yeah, you got lucky there, didn't you?"
Who's picking up Roman Wilson before the next game?
Right? I'm like, not me. Although I have Malik Neighbors, so I am in need of wide receiver help.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
But hopefully Roman can get on the field some now with Austin being out and
well. I urge you to
Scott.
go look at Arthur Smith's most recent comments. One of the Pittsburgh journalists asked him, and he gave some word salad that I interpret as, yeah, Roman's not it. Which
Ooh,
I don't know if that means like long term or just right now.
yeah.
But I don't understand how he can look so good in the preseason. The coaches all talk him up, and now he's
Yeah. Even Aaron was talking him up and got him out of his own head before that
yep,
game against, I guess it was Tampa Bay, and in those practices there in
yep.
camp. And he started making plays in camp and then turned it into the game. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I hope he's right. I hope he can get his head right and make an impact. We still need a wide receiver too. That's a
Yeah.
big focus for me moving forward. But again, pleased with 3-1. Excited, man. Football is supposed to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And things are looking up. So,
Yeah, they are. They are. Maybe we're gonna win the North and host a playoff game.
wow. That'd be
Let's
cool.
do it.
That's right. All right. We're going to take off and we'll see you guys in a week.